Hey there, it's Chris, and welcome back to the Kai Schulin Project, where last time, as you can tell, we started getting this camo going. We got about 3/4 of the way through, so this time, as you can imagine, we have, figure, 3 elements we want to get done today. And unfortunately, rifle is not one of them. I'm putting that off till next time, although I've been looking at that, and the rifle is actually going to be should be relatively quick and easy to do, so this might get tied into doing the base as well. But for this session, definitely got to finish off the rest of this camo area, make that look good, blend in with the rest. We also have this little kind of emblem we'd started before. We're going to try to finish that out. And if we come to the back, and yep, there's the emblem. We have to do the kind of saber-toothed tiger looking kind of thing. If you squint in, he's kind of looking towards the side, kind of the mouth is open like that, and the tooth comes down. You can kind of see. But beyond that, we also have the emblem here to kind of do on the back, which is going to be covered by her hair. We'll probably never see it in the first place. But that's our goal for today. And let's see if we can make her look even better. Because so far, I'm not going to lie, she's looking freaking good. I didn't know what to expect when I started this project. I hoped it would be as much. But no, this is looking... Whatever it was, I feel like I've either hit or exceeded the expectations. This is much better than I had any right to be compared to my other models. That said, we still have the same setup as last time. My computer is scrunching all the paints on the side, and I have my screen over here and we'll be working off of because it worked really well last time. Which also means last time when I said I was going to take some time off and think of stuff to talk about outside of this, I haven't done that because I'm pretty much recording this almost right after the last one. Because it's kind of annoying taking my other monitor out and moving things around and doing this, that, and the other. So we're just kind of working with what we have here. Now that said, this is going to be interesting. Because I'm not going to get all the detail. There's a double black line that goes around this with writing inside. It has an EZ in gold embroidered on there, and it's a little saber-toothed tiger face that goes on. We're not going to be doing all of that. We're going to do as best we can to get the basic outline of this that we can, but I'm going to temper my expectations, but we're going to try to do what we can do with this. No guarantees on this one. This is the finest detail I would have ever had to do if I do get this thing right. So we're just going to keep that in mind. So what I do want to have a black border going around this. As best we can. The brush is not trying to give up the paint. That's super cool. Yeah, this could take a hot minute to do. As my yoga instructor from like 15 years ago would say, this is going to take a hot minute. Because back when I first started working out, I went too far too fast and kind of pulled everything at my legs. So in order to alleviate some of that problem, I did yoga for a year, and that really helped things. Working out is great. Going too far too fast at the start is not as great. My body did not like me after the first race. I had bought a road bike, and I figured as inspiration to get going, a month after getting the road bike, I signed up for a duathlon, which was going to last like an hour and a half to do. And after not doing stuff for, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, whatever it was, going and doing an hour and a half race where you're pushing things as hard as you can for that amount of time didn't work very well for my body. And surprise, surprise, I hurt myself. So went and did something about that. Now I'm a little smarter. Whenever I take time off, I don't take 10 years off anymore. That's a That's a given. But when I do take time off, that outline actually worked out pretty well. I'm a little smarter about things. Okay, I'm trying to get a basic idea of what this is going to be, because this I really do need to have the glasses off for so I can see what's going on. I need the glasses on so I can get an idea of what I'm actually doing. Okay. Yeah, working out very good. It's just, yeah, be mindful when you do start out to be smart about it. Okay, I am trying to concentrate on this. I apologize if you want big conversation, but I do need this to kind of look like something good. I can pretend to have conversation stuff later. That'll be fine. Okay, so we have that kind of going in there. If you can, I don't know if you can see it in real life, you can actually kind of see it. The camera, every time I try to point it up the camera because the light is directly overhead, I realized when I was trying to show off the hat ones, you couldn't really see it. In real life, you can see this actually really, really easily. But on camera, I'm not sure it's reading as well. So I apologize for that. But that actually did come out fairly okay. I'm a little bit surprised on that, considering how detail-y that had to be. That said, it's not done yet. That was the black part. There is a little bit of red that goes on here too. However, before I get to the red, let's go do the rest of the camo. I'll come back, put the red tooth on here, because that'll give the black... Black has already had enough time to dry. I'm looking, it's already dry. Where's my red? There's my red. Get to do this. Get this element done. It's all big red tooth that comes down. Except it's a very, very tiny big red tooth that comes down. You're probably in the way. And that's that. No one will ever see that red, but I'll know it's there, and you will know it's there. And that is kind of what we want it to be. Okie dokie, that was fun. Now we can go back and do the camo. Feeling good. We are like 5 minutes in. We are 9 minutes in. Okay, we're already like twice as long as I thought. But we already have element 1 done. Out of 3. As for the camo, we're already 3/4 of the way through the camo. So I'm not super concerned on that. So give me 1 second. I'll put you down here. And I'm gonna take the head off. And I guess you might as well be a witness to whether this is going to come off nice or not. Actually, I should probably put the red back in its plastic. Because since I have done, as I mentioned before, the touch-ups and whatnot and trying to widen it, and I unscraped everything, I haven't actually taken this back on and off, so how'd we do? Okay, breastplate is still gold. There's like a little tiny dot in there, and that's it. That didn't scrape. We do still have one little scrape on the back. That's fine. That's if of all the three, if that's the only thing that scrapes is that little tiny bit in the back there, I'm okay with that. That needed another coat of paint. The skin color wasn't covering anything. And having one little tiny dot there on the plate, I'm okay with that. So, and looking inside this, I'm not seeing where anything scraped off there. So, feeling good. So, getting back into this. Let's move camera back. Okay, I need to be... Yeah, I slid these images over because now I'm facing on this side of it. I don't need the other image. And now with that done, we can move you back to the back because that's what we're going to need there. And like I said, we got the front, we got this part, we got the sides. All we have left is just this one side to go. So this shouldn't be too terrible. Let's find a brush we can use. Let's get the paint we can use. I should have stored the container upside down. That would have been probably somewhat helpful. I apologize for the computer in the background there, but I'm not going to do anything about that. I kind of need that to record with, and I don't have enough space to really push it back to get it completely out of the way. So we're just gonna deal with that. Okay, so on the back side here, I have pretty good visual on this image. I'm getting better at pointing with the camera facing this. Yeah, pretty good visual on that going. And actually, I can make it a little bit better. I can slide you over just a little bit so we can see more of what's going on. But it's going to be the same as last time. Using that kind of as inspiration, I realize some of these individual sections are going to look slightly different than what's on here. But that's okay. It wound up looking, like I said, freakishly good thus far compared to what my expectation was. Although you don't really have an expectation. You know what you want it to look like in the end, but you're not really sure if it's going to happen. You're just glad to see anything kind of work out. And then to come out with this, oh, I love it. Yeah, I know last year my parents had said some of my models, if they're generally kind of like art shows and whatnot, they're around in the area you can kind of find from time to time. And if you want to kind of show off your work and whatnot, so they tried to encourage me earlier to go and show off some of my works at some of like the local kind of art shows and whatnot. It's like I've kind of waited to have a project I would feel proud with or feel comfortable actually going and displaying in one of those before I would. I think this one would fit the bill. Some of the others I don't know. This one I'm feeling really good about. I could put this one out. I think for this scale stuff they would want multiple entries, so I would need more. I'm not sure. The bang one could be interesting, but if I have two, I could put the bang in there as well. If it requires more than that, I'm not sure. I might be a little hard up. I find the others. I'm not sure about the others that I've painted, whether I feel good enough with them to be kind of showcasing those works. But this one I would have no problem showcasing. This one came out amazingly well. That said, most of the projects have been about, or at least the ones I've painted, have been maybe around that kind of 45 hours. It's been a little over 30 on the modeling side with another kind of like 10 to 11 on the painting side. So it's probably been around 45, I think was like the bang one. I think Night Witch was around 45 and my cat one was probably closer to 40. This one, when all is said and done, is going to be closer to 60 hours, just to put it in perspective. I've already have 20 hours. I'm officially now over 20 hours worth of time painting, because I think I've finished now 10 hours on camera. I've done 10 hours off, and now I'm doing more work here. So in terms of time put into one of these, there's been a lot more time on this one than I've done on the others. And I think that's showing in the final product. Okay, we're going to change this up just a little bit. Have it zig in just a little. This is just a big block. I'm not sure I like just a big block. So we're going to go and give a little bit of white down there as well. Or not white, but not camo down there as well. Because again, the important part is not necessarily getting the form right, but getting the proportion of dark to light correct. Oh, you only see glare. Oh, this overhead light does not help things. The glare will go down as this dries. This is a matte finish, so the glare is 100% just temporary, but it's not helping things right now. Let's see, I'm going to bring that up. We need this line to read crisper than it is. It's kind of a rounded corner. We don't want rounded corners on this. Oh, that was my stomach. Stomach be growling a little bit, which is fine. Again, because I'm not really working out right now, I still have a couple weeks to go, kind of off season. I'm generally not eating as much as I was before when I am working out. So I do try to maintain myself as best as possible. And so, yeah, that can happen. Stomach can do its thing. That's fine. As long as you can't hear it, I guess that's the important part. So why I pointed it out for you to hear, I don't know. Okay, I'm so glad I brought this other monitor down here. This is making life much easier on my part to try to figure out a game plan for what I'm doing. Much easier to figure out a game plan. All right, so we have that in there. Now we fill in this. My hand is shaking. My hand is not on the ground. It's like it's shaking. So that's probably a good sign of something. Yeah, this is why always good to have points of contact, especially when using the power tools, like using the Dremel or whatnot. Always have as many points of contact just to alleviate any kind of, like, if you're doing this. That's an exaggeration. My hand is not that bad. But oh, I'm not looking forward to the day when that becomes a thing. Hopefully it never does. I don't want to have tremors. That sounds like not good times. But yeah, having points of contact at least eliminates or alleviates some. It may not necessarily eliminate all of it, but it will alleviate the worst of the worst. Let's see if I can go this way just a little bit. I'm going to move you over just a little. Oh, yeah, we got this. We got this. Let's try to straighten out some of these lines. And thankfully, I'm not sure how much of a second coat some of these things need. No, I probably will be doing more off camera. I can see some spots, but just because it's coming over, it's not going over to white, it's going over a color like this, it is helping. Let me go and move my image over just a little bit. Nope, can't see anything. Okay, so there's zero visual on this half of it down here, because when you look at the front view, you see the inside of that. So down here is completely made up. looks like it kind of comes up and down over here. I'm going to give a little zig up in the end. I don't need to mimic that element. Oh, something in my throat. Not good. I don't think you can see what I'm doing right now. Got a little bit of a zig in there. Yeah, the nice part is it doesn't matter if these lines are big, fat, and beefy that I'm putting in. It's just as long as the points on the end read kind of like points on the end. That's the part that really matters. I'm actually going to come out from here, just so it doesn't look like a Charlie Brown kind of zigzag over there. It can have a little bit of a character, a little bit of something to it. Doesn't need much. And I think on this half, something kind of simple can work. All right, stomach, simmer down. I like my 155 to 160 pound weight. I've been there pretty much since I think I was around 150 to 155 as a senior in high school. And I've pretty much been in that range ever since. So I would very much like to not deviate from that. So like I said, when we go between on seasons or when I'm training versus off season, I do adjust what I do just so I can kind of maintain where I am body wise, because I'm very comfortable with that. I'm very used to that weight. I'm very comfortable with that weight. My legs are used to carrying that weight. I just kind of want to stay there. So, okay, do we have a visual on the other end of the shoulder? No, we don't, because I'm looking at the exact same view you are here, except mine's colored differently. You're looking at the winter garb. I'm looking at the autumn garb. But there is, again, there is no visual on this shoulder at all on the view. Now I could probably pull up other images on here, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter. I can make stuff up just fine. What other images do I have on here? Nope, that's not going to help. That doesn't help. That definitely doesn't help. That's the wrong side. And we're in shirt stuff. So yeah, hold on, I gotta. So yeah, on here, I definitely do not have anything that can provide any kind of extra insight into what's going on. So there's that. So you're just kind of along for the ride with me too on this. We're just making stuff up as we go. I can do a little more of a zig. Then you come down, you zag a little there. Come over in. And up there. We'll get that going. I think I need to refill the cap here so I have more paint to work with. And actually I should have done this section first, because after this is done, I have the emblem that comes back here. So it is probably better I'm now getting this thing done now and not at the very end, so that we can be good. And I can actually paint that after this dries in like 2 minutes. Not an exaggeration on time. Okay, it's getting a little bit on the top here. Okay, so we have that piece in. Now we have a big old fat piece that looks like it comes down here and goes over, but yeah, let's just do it. Just do it. Let's see, you come. Not happy about that. We're going to be fixing some things. Yeah, okay. Well, this is following no path that it's doing whatsoever. So we're just making this up. 100% making this up. And I will need to touch that up. They shouldn't be that close together. Can you see any of that I'm doing? This was much easier when I was doing smaller elements that kind of are very easy to get on camera. The larger elements here are a little bit harder to do on camera. Okay, I will fill this thing in, but we're going to be subtracting some of this area either at the end of this session, once this part's done, or off camera between this and the next session. Because two elements shouldn't be that close together. But that's part of the game. Okay. In any event, we got a piece up there. We're coming over. Now we just 100% make up whatever we want. All right, there we go. Actually, no, there is, I think, one more piece of something I can do that kind of follows what they show in the drawings. But I think that's about it. This isn't part of it. The other part's a big honking thing down here. Up top here, nope. we can just kind of make up as we go. And maybe some of these shapes kind of work, and maybe some of these shapes kind of don't. Again, it's paint. We can always, if some of these made up things don't work, we can always change it. Besides, there's going to be a rifle up here. You're not going to see this. You're going to be staring at a beautiful, beautiful sniper rifle once it gets actually painted. You're not going to see this camouflage. It's going to blend into the background like it's supposed to because it's camouflage. Okay, now we just try to fine tune some of these bad corners. Let's see here. All right, so we got a piece over there, and one little kind of something down here. This one I don't think needs to be much. Just a little bit of a... Again, the important part is just as long as the proportion is correct, because that's all your eye is going to be drawn to. Do we have balance between light and dark? And also, if you have a corner, do the corners actually look, do they look rounded, or do they actually look like they're supposed to and have kind of a point, a nice crisp clean edge to it, because that helps as well. Okay, so I have that. It looks like I want something more up here. There we go. That kind of filled in that corner nicely. So we're getting there. All we really have left now is just this bottom portion. And it is amazing how just blank this looks now once you see how the rest of it looks. And also how much lighter this looks than the light part in there. It's one of those weird kind of optical illusion things that just, yeah. Right, I was going to get more paint in here. I don't really need to keep shaking this. It's already shook. It's already good in that regard. I just need more. Okay, this next piece looks like it's a kind of a giant thing that comes out here. Kind of comes down, kind of goes in, does one of those little doohickeys, comes down. I'm trying to hold it kind of the same way it is on here. You come down even more. Then it goes across, goes up, and it kind of disappears around the edge. This is a big honking piece that goes on. So we're gonna see how it all looks in the end. You have it kind of come down there. Yeah, I see I made a big fat line. That's fine. Okay, that shrunk it a little bit, which is probably good. I'm just going to do something like that, because why not? just trying to fill in here. You can already see the edge has dried by the time I'm filling this in because it's already lost its sheen. It's a different color than what I'm already putting on here. This stuff dries so fast. The acrylics just dries so fast. Acrylics are the fastest that I know of. Latex comes next. Then you start getting to oils and whatnot. No, that's not true. Shellac. Shellac stuff dries. I think acrylics are the fastest. Shellac is not far behind. Shellac is also uber fast in the drying department. And then you get into your latexes, and ultimately the oils will be the slowest. But this stuff is kind of nice to work with in a way because of that. It's because you don't need to wait around for things to do what they need to do. You can just kind of go. All right, let's try to make a crisper point on that. Good straight lines. Wherever we have a line, to make sure it just looks like it's an intentionally a good straight line. Now, I do have an event coming up tomorrow that I'm tempted to break this whole thing out for, and I'm curious. I'm debating with myself whether I bring the whole thing out to it, because none of this is going to be shown for another week, or if I just bring out the this part, which has been being done and everyone is familiar with at this point. But tomorrow is one of those days where it would be very nice to kind of, if I'm going to have a day to show things off, it's kind of the time to do it kind of deal. So a bunch of people over should be a fun time. But we'll see. Yeah, not 100% sure rifle is going to be done by then. Unless I do like a half, it's probably going to be like a half-hour session. I can get the entire rifle done. It's basically two colors. You have wood and you have metal. It's just a combination of the two. It's really simple. Now that I actually started looking at it, because I know that I'm getting to that point. So I could just do that real quick, get the entire thing done, and just tack that onto a base segment where I start working on the base. Because I still think the base is probably going to be 2 sections long, 2 sessions. One to do whatever carving is necessary, and one just to paint it up real quick. Although the painting should be much easier than the bang one, because again, if I'm doing just like a dirt path kind of thing, I don't need to blend in quite as much stuff as I had to before. So, all right, what kind of crazy shapes did I do before? Because it kind of worked. Something like that's a crazy enough shape that it kind of fits that void. That's it. I'm starting to think about the next, the kind of that little holiday thing I want to do, because I'm probably gonna do that next weekend. So I need to do a little bit of prep work to get ready for that one, and that should just be like 1 or 2 sessions and it's done. And then once that's done, depending on how long this takes to get finished, by the time the base is done and all this is out and that gets done, I'm still gonna hold off until Thanksgiving before I start the next one. I'm just hoping there's gonna be a little bit of time between, but we're still doing a little bit of play by ear in that regard. Got a little bit of a void going on in that part, kind of up in here, but let's just make some stuff up on, you know what? Do I have any images? Give me 1 second. I'm scrolling through all of my images on the computer to see if I have. Nope. Every single shot I have saved on here from like the video game and whatnot is done from this angle. And we cannot see anything on here from even the screenshot, even the ones that I took as screenshots from the game itself. All of them have been from the exact same side and are thus not helpful at all for this. Oh well, maybe 1 second. I'm still going to put this thing back on here just so I get scale comparisons to stuff. But all right, so I have nothing to go off of on these. If I were to reboot the game, I could take a screenshot or something from up in this corner and I can find something that works out well. But haven't done that. So we're just gonna make stuff up as we go again. The true camouflage experience, just make it up as you go. We're at 40 minutes. Ay, ay, ay. You know what? I might be doing the little detaily thing on the back next time, and that'll go with the. That'll take up some more time for the sniper rifle part. But I think either way, this model is. The model itself is going to be done and painted next session. The base, no. But the model itself will be done. I was hoping to get all three of these parts. I figured, oh, I've already done like 2/3 of this already in the last session. This should be easy. And it's just not going as quickly as I thought it would. Time is going very quickly. But, okay, so we have that there. It's something up on this side. Not every piece has to be a mega gigantic piece in here. We can do some smaller guys like this. Maybe not mega gigantic, more just complicated. Not all of them have to be a complicated thing. They're complex shapes. Round it off in the corner. Okay, so we have that. It's kind of getting in here kind of nicely. I think I need 2 more shapes in this. I need something down here. I also need more paint in the. Could use some more paint in the top. For sure. We'll fill in this little spot and we'll fill in my painting needs. Refill that cap. Oh, that was just a shine. That was just a shine. Alright, so I wound up a little bit close to that one. So I may scale back some of that just a little bit. And then up here just needs just a little something. Yeah, not a crazy geometric thing that draws your eye to it. Okay, there we go. We have a feeling there's dead space up here that wants something. This is the nice part. You think you're missing something, you just add a little bit more to it. It kind of fills in just a little bit more. I can tweak that just a little. Down here, I just want to put a little something extra. Just to kind of fill in a little void down there. Where are we at? 47 minutes. I think we're okay on time over there then. We got a bunch of that. This feels blank up there. Let's just go add a little something to that top corner. I don't want much over there, just a little something to kind of bring that in. Let's see, it looks like it rounds off, and I don't want that. So what we're going to do is going to bring that end down, bring that over, and that way we now have a little more of a line there. Okay, so we have camouflage, and that's where we're gonna set up on this one. Next time, I see we're still a few minutes early, but no, next time I'm gonna go, let me go clean this out first before I talk, because I don't want this stuff to. Next time should be the end of this part of the process. The finale of the model itself. Then it's just a base. Then it's just a base. And this isn't going to be a complex base. This is going to be, should be a relatively simplish kind of base, in a good way. But we can go. I'm trying not to squeeze the thing down when I do it. I'm trying to be really gentle when I put it down. I don't want to see things scraping. have that. We did, you can see that really, really awesome kind of design we had done earlier. Came out really dang good. That goes up top, where you can kind of see it. And like I said, when we have the rifle up in here, then there we go. We have, I'll move this out of the way. Boop. And let's put maybe a more appropriate image on the top here, or on the side. And there is our Kai. Just hopefully one more session to go. And she's in there. I said, I am super pleased with this model. This came out so good. I'm so happy with this one. So happy. But yeah, next time I'll make it even better. Like I said, hopefully get the little detail on the back, and we'll finally get this hopefully looking like what it's supposed to look like. And then we are good. So until then, and until next time, enjoy.